What causes icebergs to make strange sounds? Imagine standing on a boat in the middle of the polar ocean, and suddenly, you hear a series of odd pops, rumbles, or even sharp cracks coming from the nearby ice. What's causing these mysterious sounds? Well, the truth is, icebergs are constantly talking in their own way. These sounds come from several natural processes happening as they float and change in the cold polar waters. First, when an iceberg moves, it experiences stress that causes internal cracks and fractures. These cracks releases energy, creating loud popping or creaking noises. It's similar to cracking a glass, but on a much larger scale. The massive size of icebergs means these cracking sounds can be quite loud and carry over long distances underwater. Next, melting plays a big role. As the sun warms the surface of the iceberg, melt ponds form. Water from these ponds flows through channels inside the ice or drips off the edges. This movement of water makes gurgling, dripping, or splashing sounds. When warmer ocean water melts parts of the iceberg, it can cause sections to fracture and fall apart, producing loud crackling sounds. Another cause is calving, which is when chunks of ice break off from the edge of the iceberg. When these large pieces fall into the ocean, they create big underwater shock waves and splashes. These underwater sounds are often very loud and can be heard far away. Calving is a natural part of an iceberg's life cycle and a sign of ice melting and changing. Icebergs can also collide with other icebergs or scrape against the seafloor. These impacts produce grinding or rumbling sounds, similar to rocks rubbing together. If an iceberg spins or moves over shallow areas, it can generate continuous harmonic sounds as it rubs against the bottom. Sometimes, large stresses inside the iceberg cause sudden shifts or breaks, known as icequakes. These generate low-frequency sounds that travel long distances underwater. These icequakes are like tiny earthquakes but happen within the ice itself. The surrounding ocean conditions also influence how these sounds travel. Cold polar waters and specific temperature layers help carry sounds over great distances. This means that the noises made by icebergs can be heard from where they actually happen. All these sounds are part of the natural life of an iceberg. They tell us about the ongoing processes of melting, cracking, and breaking apart. Scientists listen to these sounds to learn more about how icebergs behave and how climate change might be affecting polar regions. So, next time you hear strange noises from an iceberg, remember, it's just the ice talking in its own language.